YouTubers, what's up, everybody? Well, not just YouTubers, people who see this on Facebook and Twitter and all around the place, whatnot. Yeah. Konnichiwa, what's going on, everybody? Yeah, this is kind of late, but there's some stuff like ideas that put into my head to talk about some subjects, and one subject that I have been thinking about lately because I was messing around on my iTunes and I found the track guide for it. Aces and eights, the TNA staple. Let's talk about aces and eights because, and this is like literally my opinion of them. It's what could have been. That could have been a fantastic stable. It really could have been. Let's start off with like the beginning of Aces and Eights. Let's start off with how this happened. They started off with like three masked biker gang guys who just like showed up, started jumping random people. You know, they would appear with distorted voices on video packages, and they would show up and fight random people, and eventually they would jump people backstage and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, and they would like just roll with different people, and even even was world champion time Austin Aries. Sorry, I'm reading the Wikipedia page to refresh my memory on this. This was almost 2 years ago now. I hardly remember all that much stuff. Anyway, the thing is with me about Aces and Eights is, in theory, great idea. In execution, not so much. And not even the entire time, not so much of great execution, because they had some genuinely great moments. Like the reveal of Devon being the first member that they showed who he was, and he was, and he was a sergeant at arms, and then they're adding D'Lo Brown as the inside guy, and I think the absolute genius of it was actually having Willie Randy revealed to be the president. I thought that was like the smartest move they could have made in that stable, and those specific moments were great. It was the rest of the time they just especially how Bully Ray was revealed to be the president. It was those moments that were great. The specific of like how they executed, afterwards was kind of bad. Which is sad because, and this is actually one of my biggest points I want to get to, is look who you had in this group. You had Bully Ray, Devon. You had D'Lo Brown, who even though he doesn't wrestle, he can just still be a good manager. You had Mac Knox as Nux. You had Taz as their mouthpiece, which I like Taz. Say what you want. You had Doc, who has been, he's Luke Gallows, and he, and everything like that. I'll tell you where he is later, and and all that kind of stuff. You had Mr. Anderson, although we all know that story. I'll explain that story in a minute if you don't know it. And you had those guys. And I guess for a brief second, I didn't even notice this. They had Tito Ortiz in there for a brief minute. Random, huh? Anyway, and I didn't like these two as much, but you have Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff, who I guess that could have been fun, give them more of a chance to branch out and everything. That could have been fun, but let's break this down by each guy. Bully Ray, Devon. What more needs to be said there? Oh, by the way, when I'm posting this, this is like a little less than 24 hours of me coming off of seeing Devon wrestle live again in San Antonio with RCW, and that man has never lost a step. If you don't like Devon Dudley as a singles wrestler, I mean, I get he's not the most flashy guy, but he does what he comes to the ring to do. So there's that. I think he's pretty cool and nice guy, real nice guy. So nothing to be said there. Mike Knox. Well, he was in the new ECW. Let's not even get started on that subject. Not the best guy at the time. I think by the time he got to Aces and Eights, much better. Much better. You had a real good contender there. And And not only that, you had him and Doc, Luke Gallows, who I think is severely underrated as a wrestler, let alone as a big man wrestler. You have a severe understatement of that much talent. You really, really do. I really don't know why he didn't make it in America. He's in Japan now with the Bullet Club, which is another fantastic stable who I could talk a lot about because of how much I think these guys are fantastic. But and that's even my point. Aces and Eights could have been the Bullet Club of TNA, not some outside force trying to invade and take over, and we're gonna kill this company and and it's been done to death, And I'm not even saying you can't do a story like that. You can. It's got to be done right, though. I mean, and that was the problem with Aces and Eights. It wasn't done right. But if they had just had them invade, and like, okay, once we're in, let's pick, just declare what we're going after. Just say we're going to be, TNA World Champion. One of us is going to do it. And they just that kind of thing. That'd have been fine. When they formed the Bullet Club in New Japan, it was Prince Devitt and his underboss Bad Luck Fale. What did they do? They didn't announce they were going to take over the company. They were just like, we're the best. We're gonna do what we want. We're gonna take the title. But we're not gonna try and shut the company down. It's like, and why would you want to shut the company down? You work there. That's the one thing about takeover storylines. I never really got. I was like, yeah, we're gonna take the company over and shut it down. And lose your check? What? It does not compute with me, I guess. But whatever. That's just me. It kind of makes sense. It's in some cases it makes sense on the indie wrestling level, because if you're like with one company trying to shut down another, you're trying to shut down your competition. That makes sense to me. When you're an invading company, unless you have the financial backing to take over airtime, merchandise, that kind of thing, I guess I guess the only people out there are big enough to do it was actually the original NWO, because they had enough people and financial backing to actually do it. Come on, how much is Hulk Hogan get paid back then? How much does he get paid now? For real. Anyway, but and the reason I'm mentioning Doc and Nux, because they've been here in San Antonio in River City Wrestling, and they are one-time RCW Tag Team Champions. Hey, Brennan Oliver, all you want. He saw something the rest of the world didn't. Or rather, saw something the rest of the world refused to see. That these two big dude wrestlers are a fantastic tag team. Why didn't TNA see that? That could be a question that could be asked about a lot of things when it comes to TNA. Sorry. There we go. Much better. I just now realized that. I'll slide at that. And the whole bunch of things about the angles, like Mr. Anderson being in there just to kind of break up the group, and all that kind of stuff. Predictable in its own way. Still cool when they pulled that off. When they did the Mr. Anderson thing, actually that was pretty cool, because Mr. Anderson, he was his typical self, and I love his typical self because that's pretty awesome. But they messed up so much, especially when Devon was released. I was never a fan of that. I was never a fan of them releasing Devon and Homicide was in town recently, or him. I just think that was one of the biggest boats TNA missed. Not because such a revolutionary idea, this is so original, so great. No. I just think that you had an idea of this group of guys who, of course, everyone knows that, Willie Randy, Devon, or, well established, but you could have made stars out of guys like Doc and Nux, out of Garrett, out of Wes. You could have, and they even had Evilise Velez as an honorary member if you're one of their one night only things. She could have stayed. And that kind of thing. You had this great idea with a good gimmick. Personally, I like the gimmick. That's just me. Other people have their opinions about it, and that's their right to have their opinion, which, this is my opinion. And I just think you had such a missed opportunity here. You had a decent group of guys who just need the opportunity to show that they were good and could get better. And if you're under like the leadership of guys like Willie Randy, I mean, backstage, I'm sure they're gonna tell them you can do better, you can do this better, do that better. The guys are 25-time tag team champions of the world, or something to that effect, or something like that. You have any number of times they won tag team titles. It's just it could have been just not even like a great. Let's face it, it sucked as a takeover angle. I think if they had just stopped at we're the world champion and nothing, just stop there and just continue to win gold, just say we're the best group in all of wrestling, and just have guys keep trying to beat them, that would have been fine. You keep trying to focus on this notion of taking over a company, we're gonna own this company, we're gonna kill this company, then that's when it gets annoying. If you just have guys just trying to be the best, which if more wrestling storylines were like that, I'm just trying to be the best. I'm I'm better than this guy, I'm better than that guy, I'm the best wrestler here, I'm gonna keep proving it over and over again. Then you would have had a fantastic storyline with a fantastic group of guys who I think really would have got a chance to shine. I think they should have got a chance to shine. I really do. But yeah, that's my soapbox. I was on it. I'm off of it now. But what about you guys? What do you think about Aces and Eights and and their decisions that they made with that storyline? Do you think it could have been better? Do you think it could have been worse? Am I way off base? Did I knock it out of the park with this one? Or what's your opinions? How do you feel about Aces and Eights? Let me know. Either post a comment, do a video response for me, or whatever. Thank you guys for watching. And you all have a good one. And minasan, sayonara. Peace.